Drop it. Yeah.
Alright, what's going on everybody? My name is Flexible and today I've got another video for you. The other day I've presented to you my new Crusadia combo that I've come up with Firewall Dragon and the Nightmare Gryphon as the base combo pretty much. And today I thought I might give you more insight into the deck profile itself and also my thought processes behind building this deck. And before I jump right in, I just want to mention two things real quick. First of all, I wanted to get rid of the Gamma Seal combo because it's extremely powerful, that's true. But it's also fairly inconsistent. I think it's like a 60% chance of seeing the waterfront in your entire combo, even with the Saryuja draw, which is fairly low, and those 40%, once they happen that you don't draw it, it feels like 80% because it feels really bad losing an entire duel just because you didn't draw one specific unsearchable card. So I'm trying to get away from the Gamma Seal combo a little bit without losing most of the power level of the deck. And the second thing is that in many cases, or especially in my cases before, when somebody builds a Crusadia combo deck, they play many Crusadia cards and extenders which just help extend the combo, but they're not trying to generate advantage as much, especially because it's not really possible with the Crusadia engine itself to generate like huge amounts of advantage on the go. So I was trying to play as many extenders that in itself also generate advantage. And so with that out of the way, let's hop right in. Now in terms of Crusadias, there's really nothing much to say. There's 16 Crusadias. I'm playing all of them, 4 Arborias with the reinforcements of the army, Leonis and Reclusia, nothing much to say. Only thing I can say is that Leonis is even more so relevant because of another card that we're playing in the deck, which you're going to see in just a second. Then the Dragon package should also be familiar to you. There's White Dragon, Red as Darkness Metal Dragon, and Black Dragon. Those are especially good because they search each other, so they replace themselves, which is also again additional advantage generated. Red as Darkness Metal Dragon obviously being Monster Reborn, the reason why the Guard Dragon combo works. But in addition to the small dragon package, I'm also playing 3 Noctivision dragons, which are also dragon extenders that we can summon when we summon out the Alpi, for example, or the Black Dragon. And when they are linked away, you can draw 1 card, which is pretty dope. Because then again, like imagine you play a Ranryu instead of this. Sure, you can get an extender and keep your combo alive, but drawing another card in addition to being an extender is just way more valuable, and I definitely recommend if you're playing the Guard Dragon route, you should definitely also play 3 Noctivision dragons. Next thing is the Cybers package. I'm playing 2 Format Skippers, 1 Scripton, and 3 Parallel Exceed. Format Skipper searches any of those, so it's again a +1. It can also function as a pseudo Crusadia, so essentially I'm playing 18 Crusadias in this deck, 18 combo starters that is. Then there's Scripton, which is not necessarily a +1, but it turns the Format Skipper into a 1-card combo, so in some situations where you only draw the Format Skipper as the only like combo piece really, then you're still going to be able to combo off, which is pretty dope. Or if you don't need the Scripton, you can also search the Parallel Exceed, which turns the Format Skipper into a +2 essentially, because not only do you search the Exceed, but you're also summoning a second copy of Exceed from the deck with the effect of Exceed itself, which can either help you protect yourself from Nibiru with the Rafflesia and the Gravedigger's Trap Hole, or it can just function as many extenders and help you survive your combo more easily. Next is the Rescue Cat. If you watch my combo video, I think I summoned the Naturia Beast, which I did by playing the Valeriphon. I've taken that out actually, ever since the combo video, because I've just thought about the extra deck a little more and there were different choices that I wanted to make, so I'm playing only 3 Rescue Cat right now. Rescue Cat is still an insane card. If you summon it off of the Saryuja effect, you hugely plus from it. Essentially Rescue Cat being a 1-card Codebreaker combo, which is pretty dope. And obviously it's 1 less like Garnet in the deck without the Valeriphon, which is also pretty cool. Yeah, definitely recommend it. The only thing I can say is don't normal summon Rescue Cat, never. Only if you open 4 spell cards and Rescue Cat, then I guess you have to go for it. But if you have enough Crusadias and combo starters and extenders in your hand to combo off without Rescue Cat, don't normal summon it. It's way too risky. You lose the entire turn to an Ash Blossom, doesn't feel good. Now the only actual brick in our deck is the Codebreaker 0 Day. You really don't want to see it because all the other cards, like for example the trap cards, maybe Gravedigger's Trap Hole could be a brick too because you want to have it for the Rafflesia effect. But if you end your turn on a Gravedigger's Trap Hole, you can still set it to your side of field and use it as interruption. Codebreaker 0 Day just loses you a plus essentially by being in your hand if you have to summon it from your hand with the effect of Fire Swordsman. So putting it back with the Saryuja effect is actually mandatory if you do open it. But other than that, it helps to generate huge amounts of advantage as well, which is extremely worth it. So definitely if you're playing Crusadia combos, then definitely play the Codebreaker as well. And the last monsters in my deck are 2 Rocket Tracers accompanied by 3 Creek Launches. Rocket Tracer, I would definitely play one Rocket Tracer only and one non-tuner level 4 Rocket Monster, because in some situations you're going to have like a Tracer and a Quick Launch. That's very rare, of course, but it still happens, and then not being able to summon a Synchro 8 with Quick Launch and Tracer feels kind of bad, because they're both tuners. At the moment, I don't own a non-tuner level 4 Rocket Monster, but I'm going to buy myself a Magna Rocket Dragon just because he's a level 4 non-tuner Rocket Monster. And so, also you should play 2 targets, because if you open one of them, the Quick Launch isn't dead. So, the last few cards in my deck are Called by the Grave, which is protecting us from hand traps, of course. Not much to say here. 3 Pot of Avarice, drawing us 2 cards, recycling our extra deck resources and all that, pretty dope. And then there's Gravedigger's Trap Hole and Bottomless Trap Hole. Gravedigger's Trap Hole protects us from hand traps, as I said before, but it can also be useful in some situations when you set it to your field. Bottomless Trap Hole is just the second target for Rafflesia in case she survives the entire turn and then stays in the opponent's turn. Also, Bottomless Trap Hole on the opponent's turn feels more powerful than a Gravedigger's Trap Hole, because in some, especially rogue matchups, banishing the normal summon is probably, in many cases, a game ender pretty much, or like a turn ender at least. So that's why I chose to play this one instead of a second Gravedigger's Trap Hole, for example. Now with the main deck out of the way, I can show you the extra deck, which pretty much consists of 3 parts essentially. There's the standard engine, which consists of the 4 very bare-bone Crusadia combo cards, Magius, Batha, LP, and Saryuja. Any 2 Crusadia monsters or a combo starter and extender end you on Saryuja with 4 materials, which is obviously very powerful. Then there's the Codebreaker combo, which turns any 2 Link monsters under the Saryuja into a Link 3 monster, Link 2 monster, and an effect monster, which is obviously extremely strong, and it also enables you to play big like Link climbing combos, which I've chosen is the Firewall Dragon and Nightmare Gryphon, which shuts down special summon monster effects unless the monsters are linked, and then the Firewall Dragon, which can bounce a monster if he's co-linked, which is always going to be the case with those 2. And in this case, for example, if the opponent tries to summon a Link monster so that his monsters are linked and he can use the effects, you can still bounce the Link monster with Firewall Dragon, for example. Very powerful combo. The only problem with this combo is that it pretty much loses to spell and trap cards, because you can only shut down monster effects and combos with this. So what I'm doing to fight that is play the Savage Dragon, which can be made with the Rocket Tracer and any level 4 monster in my deck, which is an Omni Negate. But instead of that, or in addition to that, you could also play something like Naturia Beast, which would then require you to play the Valeriform, or the FA Dawn Dragster, which I've also taken out for space reasons, but technically it's also a very good card. It's also very easily accessible on the deck. So those are also alternatives or additional cards that you could play. Another form of interruption I'm playing is the Abyss Dweller, which in some matchups, especially in some meta matchups like Eldritch for example, can be extremely strong and a complete blowout. And also I'm playing the Rafflesia, as I said before, protects you from Nibiru. Can be a normal summon banish, or just a monster banish on the opponent's turn, or just a Gravedigger's Trap on the opponent's turn. Very strong lineup so far. And in terms of alternative combo lines, you could also do something like, instead of going for Synchro and Xyz monsters, you could also go for a big like co-link combo with the Nightmare Cerberus and the Nightmare Phoenix. Because Nightmare Cerberus protects your co-link monsters from being destroyed by card effects, and Phoenix protects your co-link monsters from being destroyed by battle. So even if you're left with only 4 monsters on the field, like for example, where are they? Something like this. Then you have 2 bounces with Firewall Dragon. Special summon monsters are shut down unless they are linked, and both destruction protections, which is also very powerful and sometimes even hard to overcome, unless they're somehow able to either Kaiju a monster of yours or negate the effects of the Nightmare monsters, so they can be destroyed again or whatever. And while we're at it, this combo can also be changed. So instead of Firewall Dragon, you could play the Trigate Wizard, which you would have to switch the zones though. In this case, you would also have to play a second copy of Magius, because you could summon something like this, and a second Magius, or recycle the Magius with the Avarice, and then summon it into the zone above Trigate Wizard, which is co-linked in 3 zones now. That means that he is an Omni Negate once per turn. Once per turn, you can also banish a card, and also the monsters are again protected, and you're not always going to be able to summon the Phoenix in addition to all of this, but at least they're protected from being destroyed by card effects, and maybe even by battle. Also, special summon monsters are shut down. The only problem with this one is that the attack is super low, so if you don't have the battle destruction protection, you might lose your Trigate Wizard pretty easily, but other than that, it's also a very cool combo. And the last few cards I can talk about are Link Spider, which turns the Nibiru token into an effect monster with a downward pointing arrow. Lingo Rebo, which turns your Fomat Skipper into a link monster with a downward pointing arrow in case it gets Impermed or Veiler. Triple Burst Dragon, which turns your Spellbound LP in case they get Ashed or Veiled into a Link 3 monster with a downward pointing arrow. And then Abramax, which serves two purposes, because first of all, if you get interrupted as a Spellbound LP, you would either end on a Triple Burst Dragon, because in most cases you won't be able to combo off completely. You lose the Saryuja draw, maybe you lose even the Saryuja special summoning effect, depending on how your hand looks. You need something to at least end on, and Triple Burst Dragon is not the best option. It's better than everything else we have in the deck, but that's why I'm playing Abramax, because you can still at least try and combo off into a Link 4 monster, and also he pretty much can't be destroyed by battle unless your opponent negates the effect of Abramax. So in some cases it might be hard to overcome for the opponent and win you a game on a lost combo pretty much. The other thing is that most monsters like the Firewall Dragon and the Gryphon are pretty low on attack comparatively, so having a big beat stick that can beat over any monsters and just provide additional protection can be pretty good. Also, if you establish your board in a different way, you could also summon this one instead of any other card in your end board to protect your monsters from being attacked at all. So instead of a Cerberus, for example, you can also summon the Abramax, and then your opponent can only attack the Abramax instead of like the Gryphon, for example, with any monsters, which is also pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the profile. Maybe this was insightful to you. Maybe you have suggestions how you could improve this deck, and I would also gladly read your comments about that. If you enjoyed the combo, then definitely give it a shot, because it's very cool and very consistent as well. There's not going to be many situations, unless you get interrupted, of course, where you won't be able to combo off compared to the Gamma Steel combo. If you're new to the channel, then subscribe. There's going to be way more Crusadia and just Yu-Gi-Oh content in general. I've got many plans, and if you liked the video, then leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, then also let me know what you didn't like, because I'm always trying to improve my content. And other than that, guys, see you next time.